Howdy all, we're doing something a bit different today. We are doing some computer related things. This is my motherboard. Pretty standard these days, pretty flash I reckon. Got me CPU turned up. One bajillion dollars later. I can't even get it out of the packet, it's really difficult. There you go. I'm trying not to touch any of the pins on the bottom. It's a stack of little guys. There's a child copy in the background. Good timing, child, good timing. So, first things first. I'm doing this one-handed. Stand that up. Look for the little triangle in the corner. I'm pretty sure it's that one. It's only one with a slight dimple. That too has a little gold thing. Or is it that one? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, this is delicate. It's a heavy little blighter too. So I'm just going to put this down for 1 second while I'm doing this, because I want to make sure I don't screw up this, because this little guy was expensive. So I'll catch up in a second. So we're back. We've dropped the CPU in. I gave it a little wiggle and it sort of plopped in, and you just put the latch over it. Now bear in mind this information is coming like sixth hand, because I'm just going off what I've seen on YouTube. Which is kind of funny, so you guys can walk it through with me. Now you take these off, because the cooler eyes screws on to those. A touch more is required. There we go. Loop. And you get your so-called Wraith cooler. It's already got its thermal paste attached to the bottom of it. Now, this guy plugs into CPU fan here, as far as I'm aware. And then I'm pretty sure you can rearrange this any which way you like. So that's going to go on like so. Yep, and then I'm going to just do those up and we'll move on. Alright, that's in. I mean, I really am a bit nervous right now. Oh, it's one of those plasticky, filmy bits. But yes, I think what we're going to do now is put our RAM in, which I'm going to put it in. And you got that. And like that. Putting it in slots 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, I believe, and 2 and 4 work together. So it's a bit... I am not an expert on this, and I am nervous. Seriously. But yes, this is the RAM we're going to be putting in. It's got little doodads to make it only go in one way. So, and they just snap straight in, so I'll come back to you once I've done that. Now the RAM's in, literally just, as you saw before, pull, slit, push down, and those tabs snap back up when they're in. So CPU's in, fans on, RAM's in. Now we're going to put in the hard drives, which are going to go here under these two heat sinks. I'll take those itty bitty screws out, and then they'll go in at an angle, sit down on little pegs, and then screw in, and then that's the board about ready to go into the case. So many connections. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that's one of the power plugs. That's one of the other ones. Some of these are USB ports. I think it's possibly that one. So yeah, we'll do these ones, which you just take off that screw and that screw. Take the covers off, which are, I believe, the heat sinks. And we'll stick our hard drives in. So we got our little covers off. I had to put a little stand in there for this. But if you're not what a current generation hard drive looks like, This is probably the more expensive type, but apparently this is the fastest type of hard drive you can get currently. That's 500 gigs of storage right there in one little chip. So apparently these go in on an angle and then down like that, and you just put your screw back in. And that's just it. So yeah, we'll get those in and put the covers on, and then I reckon we'll get the tower out. And that's effectively it. Two hard drives are in, 2 sticks of RAM. That CPU is down there somewhere. Fans plugged in, bolted on. I use the word bolted on because I talk about cars. Just try and gingerly peel that sort of clear protective sticker. You know, those, the film. It's a clear protective film. Joys of having no nails. Why won't you come off? Get off. Oh well. Get that in a second, and then I'm going to get the tower and bring it out and see if we can stick this bad boy in it. Please don't hate on me if you know computers better than I do. A monkey could probably know computers better than me. So chaps, this is the tower that I chose. I went for the Thermaltake. It was the V200. Came with 4 fans in it, 3 down the front and 1 at the back. And it came with a 500 watt power supply. And I reckon it was $190. I believe, or somewhere in that region, which I thought was fairly reasonable. And it's got magnetic dust shields on the top and the bottom, I believe. And the fans end up in pretty colours. And then we got power, reset, LED, and then all the normal stuff. So I'm just going to get this side off and get all the crap out from inside it. So this is my case in all its exposed glory. I've taken both sides off. It's quite a lot lighter once I took the last panel off. I just had to pull the power supply temporarily just to unwind all the wires that were jammed up in there. And now we play the game of let's see what does. But considering that the only thing that's probably going to be in this card is the motherboard and the graphics card, I don't actually think there'll be a lot plugged in. I mean, this isn't one of the fancier ones because the fancy cables these days are all black. And I'm not running any external hard drive, so there will be a lot of stuff not being used. Which is going to be super handy. I'm pretty sure these guys are the main ones for the motherboard. And then some of these other ones are the case ones. Don't you roll away. So all this, if this is starting to scare you, don't worry, I'm already scared. All that mumbo jumbo's got to get plugged into the motherboard, and I'm probably going to take off what it seems to be a bread tie, almost. Unwind that guy, because these are all the front. So that's all your buttons and stuff. If you see my hand covered in paint, it's because I was actually working today. So I believe they're going to all plug into this guy, which will then plug straight into the motherboard in one go rather than trying to individually hand feed those in, which is going to suck muchly. And then I've got to figure out what all this gear is that came with it. I'm pretty sure most of that's just standoffs and screws and stuff. Nothing over the top. I need to figure out what that looks like, some sort of speaker. Anyway, I'll keep cracking and keep you updated. Okay, I'm just going to finish up my video here, or at least for part 1 of my computer build, because the motherboard's in. I've just got to feed all the wires, but the filming and the concentration levels are getting confusing, so I'm not going to film anymore, but I'll keep you updated. But yes, so far the computer build is cruising along quite nicely. It doesn't seem complicated, but I'd like to use all of my concentration on building it. Thusly, I'm going to stop filming and just give you guys this much. We'll call this part 1 of the computer build, and you can catch it up next time. Thanks.